Juniors World Cup in Prince Albert.
Great locations by Migliavacca this morning. Full count to Bradbury.
Bradbury, by the way, was 2 for 11 in that qualifier last week in Mexico, and Migliavacca, as was the case one night ago against the Bear Creek Express, bared down. 1-2-3. The Gremlins coming to bat when we return to Simcoe. Nick Patrick gets the ball, the 28-year-old from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, to start the game for STK. And here's a look, Joe Todd, at a very vaunted batting lineup that he will face this morning. Redemar, who did not start last night but did get into the game, the 21-year-old from Argentina, to lead it off. And that is a row of hitters that is as good as you'll find in this sport.
What was that movie in the 70s, Murderer's Row?
Murderer's Row. And the defense looks like this. Around the outfield, Villalobos, Keegan Pittendray, and the Regina product, Josh Montana, Stevie Silvis, a baseball convert, played collegiately at Azusa Pacific, Bradbury, Alejo Munoz, Susi, and behind the plate is Larson. And the Gremlins with an impressive win one night ago. Patrick last year was with the San Antonio Glowworm, but did not have any pitching numbers at the ISC World Tournament. He has played at the ISC World Tournament in the past for Hill United. And a look at the facility. Lovely Lions Park on this sunny, as I like to call it, steamy Saturday in this part of Ontario. And bit of a change. This lineup could look different. Matthew Waugh would generally be in this spot, but today it's the youngster, the 21-year-old, to face Nick Patrick. And Patrick's first pitch is down and away for ball one. Redemar was a member of the JB Bombers last year at the ISC World Tournament, went 5 for 16 with a triple and a run batted in. Internationally, played for his country in the 2023 U23 World Championships, did Redemar, and also back in the U18 Worlds in 2018.
Covers a lot of territory in the outfield. Great range and reads the ball extremely well off the bat.
And has already recorded a putout in this game when Brett Larson flew out to him in the top half of the inning. So Patrick comes back with a strike. And Redemar gets a bat on that pitch that was well placed on the outside corner. Our umpires today, Joe, I'll leave those with you.
George LeMaitre had on the plate. First base is Kevin DiDomenico, and at third base is Trevor Topping.
And they will require some water today, as will everybody.
As will we.
Stay well hydrated. And there are indeed your umpires. So you take a look at Trevor Topping over at third as Redemar trying to get the Gremlins going in the bottom half of the first inning. And the Patrick pitch on a short hop to Silvis, and he has trouble with it. And the way Redemar runs, Silvis knew that the transfer had to be quick.
I think Silvis probably sat on his heels a little bit, should have charged that ball. I think he would have had a little bit easier bounce.
So Redemar on board on the arrow. And here is Jerome Remeke. And Remeke with a key run batted in against Sean Cleary and Bear Creek Express last night. I refer to this 30-year-old as a professional hitter. Great eye, good patience. Can hit it to the trees. Whatever you want. And a quality piece of hitting on that base hit last night, opposite way to left, to score the game's first run. And did Remeke go around that time? The answer is no. As Patrick was able to induce a ground ball. And if you've not played on this diamond before, which Stevie Silvis obviously has not, it's his introduction, my understanding, into this sport in particular. Every diamond is different.
Yes.
And this one, because of the heat, and there's a perfect example, is rock hard, and then the sweat for Bradbury, and here comes the game's first run. So if you don't think conditions in the field matter, just take a look at the replay as the Gremlins able to score in the bottom of the first. The high chopper, Bradbury had to wait, and you could tell the grip of the ball wet. And it's 1-0 for the reigning world champions. And a couple of errors here, not the way STK wanted to begin the game.
Yeah, it's very tough on that pitcher and that whole infield now. They got to be down and ready. You want to get that first out. Get that first out, get the jitters away.
Beninoka, the batter. STK preseason rankings in that 13-14 window, but Joe, I think as the circuit goes along, that's going to change.
Yeah, the rankings, I imagine the new rankings might be out probably in another week, the midseason rankings. Or maybe the final rankings, I guess, because now this is going to be the end of July. The final rankings will be out.
Beninoka is the batter. The 34-year-old longtime veteran of the New Zealand Black Sox national team and a 7-time all-world team member at the ISC. And if you're Patrick, this is difficult because so far you've done an excellent job. But that's all part of being in a very critical spot in this sport. Your ability to deal with yourself first off, and then what will happen in behind you. And comes up with an excellent rise that Anoka goes down swinging on. And Patrick has his first strikeout of the day. Eric Ochoa wore 42 last night after losing his luggage on the way here, and I wondered, because he had a good night, if he might just stay in 42, but not the case. So 1 out, 1 in, as the Gremlins strike first in a battle of teams with 1-0 records here in Simcoe. An excellent 8-team field has gathered and will crown a champion here tomorrow afternoon. The final slated for noon at this diamond. And we have action as well going on to the right of us on diamond number 2. And the high rise, good cut, straight back off the bat of Ochoa. Eric is 31 years of age, was an all-world selection at the 2023 ISC World Tournament where he batted .409. And playing over at first base again today defensively. And Patrick the drop that time, and a good one. So Patrick has really found a good groove, and had it not been for a couple of misplays, he'd be sitting in the dugout right now.
Well, he's on his fourth batter, only had 14 pitches. So he's done the economical way.
And here's the 0-2 to Ochoa on the ground. Munoz ranges, and a strong throw for the second out. And when Alejo Munoz came to bat, mentioned how impressed I was with him at the Kelowna May Days tournament, and not only can he hit it, that was something else that was very much on display at that event on the May long weekend. He is a fine addition to this STK team. And wonder if he'll play for Argentina at the upcoming World Cup qualifier in Prince Albert. Probably one of those guys.
Yep.
Maybe on the outside, but getting himself into a position moving forward to potentially be a part of that program on a more regular basis. And the batter is, can't believe this guy's only 26.
Yeah.
Cole Evans. Mentioned it last night. Few players to me look more like elite softball players than this guy. And it gets away from Larson, and Remeke will scamper home with a second run. And you never know how close you are to a ball game until rocks come up off the backstop and get you in the throat.
Put you in the game.
Put me right in the game that time. That's a first in my lengthy broadcasting career, I must say. There's Evans with a mammoth high home run last night to give his team a 2-0 advantage. Bradbury delivers a strike. So a couple of runs, air-aided and pass ball-aided, have the Gremlins in front of STK after one in Simcoe.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill.
STK down 2-0 to the reigning Chiefs Challenge champions, not to mention world champions. And here we started so quickly we didn't get a look, Joe, at the lineup. Villalobos, and you'll be impressed with this gentleman who will lead things off along with longtime veteran Eli Jules and baseball convert Stevie Silvas set to bat against Pablo Migliavaca, who now in 5 innings of work this weekend has yet to give up a base hit. And the change held for a long time by catcher Blake Hunter.
Pablo Migliavaca has such a fluid motion on the mound. Just nothing seems to be herky-jerky. Nice and smooth. Good footwork.
The 29-year-old from Argentina. And all you need to know about anybody from Argentina is they come from Paraná, because it's the only hometown I've ever seen listed for anyone at a major competition. Now, I have to find somebody in that country who will let me know if that is actually 100% the case. Now, I know it's a hotbed, but there's got to be a couple other beds in that country somewhere.
Yes, it's a very large country.
It is a very large country. And Migliavaca in fine form, facing the 26-year-old Villalobos, who is a specimen. 26 years of age. He's from Mexicali, Mexico. I was a little surprised that he did not participate in his home country last week and goes down swinging as Migliavaca records his third consecutive strikeout of the day. Eli Jules. This is an impressive man. Been playing the game for a long, long time. And still in his 40s, swinging it well, but was fooled on the change that time.
It's been a lot of change and a lot of drop balls by Migliavaca and Hunter.
And there's a perfect example of a quality drop. Eli impressed at the Canadian Senior Men's Championship late in August, early September in Surrey, British Columbia, when he was a member of the Prince George River Kings. Been around for a while, and so is the guy that you're looking at on your screen.
Oh, great pitch.
How good is that change?
I think I could see the seams on that.
That's Todd Martin-like, that pitch. Migliavaca mentioned it last night, but well worth mentioning it again. Was a perfect 5-0 at the Pan American Championships in April. Struck out 36 and walked only 1. As Argentina found themselves in a couple of great battles with Venezuela, including the gold medal game, which Migliavaca was the winning pitcher in. Joe, when you think about some of these players from South America, I'm going to guess that the heat might not be as big a factor as it is for some of us North American softies.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quite used to that high temperature and the humidity.
They don't like it when it's 22 or 23.
No,
it's not warm enough for them.
They got their winter coats on.
And the drop gets the job done. Is Migliavaca with a 2-0 lead and in an early groove against this up-and-coming STK program.
Four of the 5 batters have struck out by Migliavaca.
And 4 in succession.
Yes.
As he faces the shortstop, Stevie Silvas. By my research, a collegiate baseball player making the change to fast pitch softball.
Great to see that.
Out of Azusa Pacific University. And takes a look at a strike. And I guarantee you, he would be the first to tell you that the transition is not easy.
Yes.
The sweeping curve from Migliavaca. In some ways, Joe, I found in the last 2 days almost a setup pitch for other things. That's been the sequence. The outside sweeping curve, in a lot of cases, not in the strike zone, and then right back to the drop on the inside half of the plate.
Migliavaca and Hunter are just in perfect harmony right now.
And comes back in again, but misses. The count is full to Silvis, who had a tough time at shortstop in the bottom of the first with a difficult short hop on a very hard surface. And hits it well to left and has a chance, and it is gone. Stevie Silvis takes Migliavaca out of the yard, and STK right back in it.
Silvis got all of that pitch. He was looking at that drop ball and just threw it too many more times. Silvis picked up on it, drove it out of the park.
The ability to plant, keep your hands back, and go through the ball. And Silvis sat on it and ripped it. And Migliavaca gives up his first hit of this Hill United Chiefs challenge, and it is a solo home run. And that will help build the confidence, as Tyson Susie is the batter. He is from Irma, Alberta. His dad, Mike, is coaching over at first base. And his brother's not bad at hockey.
Yeah, I heard he's got potential.
His brother Carson is a member of the Vancouver Canucks and was an excellent fast-pitch softball player himself until he had to make a choice.
Yes.
And
I think he made the right one.
I think he's doing
Yeah.
his pocketbook made the right one. That is for sure. What a nice family, too.
Lyle Norman at the third base coach position for STK.
And Lyle is no stranger to this sport. Been around a long time.
His son Steve pitched the game last night.
Steve was very impressive in Kelowna himself. And a strikeout. But Stevie Silvis with a solo home run to left has STK right back in it against the Gremlins.
Dream catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say, as long as our people have
a 2-1 lead for the New York Gremlins in this showdown of teams with 1-0 records, looking to earn their way into tomorrow's semifinals. And Patrick deals with catcher Blake Hunter. Hunter will represent Canada at the upcoming World Cup qualifier, the 37-year-old. Change up on the ground to Silvis. Has a strong arm and displays it for out number one. Would there be anything, Joe Todd, much better for your confidence than coming to home plate and delivering what Silvis did in the last half inning?
Yeah, you want that ball to find your glove.
Patrick gave up 2 runs in the first, but has yet to surrender a hit. There was 2 errors and a pass ball.
Well, you just wonder how much the nervousness and the butterflies of playing the world champions in your first game against this caliber of a team.
Makes a difference.
They've gone over that little hump now in the first inning, got that out of the way, and now they're ready to play ball. I think you'll see a lot better team from here on in.
40-year-old veteran Zenon Winters, who helped Australia to the 2009 World Championship in Saskatoon. Exclusively, for the most part, a hitter, was 4 for 17 at last year's ISC World Tournament, helping the Gremlins. His last World Championship was also in Saskatoon in 2015, so he's not played very much internationally after that 6-year stint, but here he is, still swinging it as Patrick misses outside, and the count is 3-1 to the 5-time All-World member, Zenon Winters, who at one point was also the head coach of Indonesia in his career. Excellent offering from Patrick, who has his second strikeout. 37-year-old longtime Canadian national team member Brian Avery, the batter, playing in right field again today. Versatile. He's done a lot of catching for his country.
Yes. Good clutch hitter.
And rips this ball in the gap to left center. Avery on his way to second with a 1-out double. And Avery leans in and rips it. Keegan Pittendray with good speed, just 20 years of age in center field, racing over to get the ball back into play. So there's the first hit given up by Nick Patrick. Good Saskatoonian. Always a little more proud to say that maybe than any other hometown, and I'm going to guess you don't have to ask too many questions as to why.
Graced that little town a couple of times. It's a good time.
It's a great fastball city. Has been for a long time. Hutt Valley, New Zealand's Tane Mumu, another up-and-coming youngster. Saw him score a run last night as a pinch runner, and he can fly. And he'll represent New Zealand on the senior men's team at the upcoming qualifier in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. That event, by the way, starts on the 10th of July. Man, I can't wait. So excited. Joe, you might not know this, but I'm quite a fan of international competition in sport.
Well, July the 2nd, the New Zealand national team are making a tour of Ontario. They're playing in Tavistock on the 2nd, and they're playing in Hickson on the July the 3rd.
If you are in those neighborhoods, make sure you attend. The drop gives Larson trouble and allows Avery to move up 60 more feet as the Gremlins looking to restore a 2-run advantage. Mumu, just 20 years of age. He won't turn 21 until the 24th of October. Played for the senior men's team at the 2023 Oceania Championship last November, where he went 3 for 13 in a competition that involved Australian and American Samoa. And draws a walk as Redemar strolls back for his second appearance. Not sure it's still morning. It is still morning, barely.
Yep, got 8 minutes.
9 minutes left in it. It might be morning much earlier in other locations where you're tuning in, and thank you so much for doing so if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. The runner on the way. Moo might get the wave. He's going to get the wave, and he's going to score. My goodness. A sharp single with the runner in motion. And there was never really a question, Joe, that Moo was going to score.
I think if Greg would have put the stop sign up, he might have ran through it anyway.
Now, the bobble helped.
Yes.
Let's not forget about that. But still, in Nick White, who plays for Hill United, and Tane Moo might be two of the fastest young people in this sport that I've witnessed for quite some time. And Redemar has an RBI single. And the Gremlins add not one but two and lead it 4-1. And now you have to deal with Remeke.
Really beneficial when that 8 and 9 guy can get on base and set up the top of the order.
Well, when Brian Avery's in the 8 hole, might be as good an indication about what your batting lineup looks like as almost anywhere else you might go. Remeke on the ground to Munoz, who comes up with those smooth hands to end the inning. But 2 more for the Gremlins, and they've actually extended their lead to 3.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms.
Josh Montana, the Regina product, leading it off and missing on another glorious changeup from Pablo Migliavaca, who has 5 strikeouts in his first 2 innings of work today. And the drop in on the hands to Josh, who was a member of the Pegasus Redmen at last year's ISC World Tournament. When you lose your first 2 games, you flip to ISC 2. And pounds this one foul down the third base side. Had 1 hit in the ISC main event in a loss to the Lacey A's, and then went 6 for 11 in ISC 2, where he was batting .545, a double, a triple, a homer, and 3 runs batted in. And he has pop in that Easton. He was selected to play for Canada at the 2022 Pan American U23 Championship.
STK really got to get this bottom part of the order going. Got to get some base runners for that top part, just like the Gremlins did.
Well, head coach Greg Leather will have a plan for his pitchers. We have yet to see Czech national team member Jakub Osichka, but walked by him earlier, and Migliavaca has another strikeout. as he sits down Josh Montana for strikeout number 6 and out number 1 of the inning. And here's the center fielder, just 20 years of age, is Keegan Pittendray, another two-sport athlete. Played in the Kimberly International Junior Hockey League for his hometown of Chase. And Migliavacca, outside of the mistake to Stevie Silvas, has been completely in command. Pittendray squared to bunt, but takes strike 2.
3 innings, or 2 and a third inning so far. 42 pitches for Migliavacca.
And the sweeping curve that I've referred to as the setup pitch.
Yes.
If you were doing some scouting on the STK side, expect something in on the hands here.
Yeah. Good read.
It's been the pattern, and it's a pattern that I wouldn't stop either because it's working incredibly well. So 2 more strikeouts, and the top of the order in Brett Larson, who hit the ball well but flew out to Lucio Retamar in left to open the game. The 30-year-old Larson in behind Migliavacca. Can he recover in time? The answer is no. Had just a fraction of a second to locate it, where couldn't find it, and it was enough to allow Larson to race to first and beat it out.
Just a little bit of spin on the ball.
And Larson aboard. And again, it's the dangerous 25-year-old Alejo Munoz. Munoz, Eric Ochoa says, I'll take care of that quickly. So little trouble for the Gremlins. Migliavacca and Hunter in tune. And the Gremlins are singing just the way they like it here in Simcoe.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome.
Not only is he magic, he shoots great scenics too.
Yes.
Carl shoots great. She shoots great scenics.
Yes.
Here at Lions Park. Once again, the host of the Hill United Chiefs Challenge, where the New York Gremlins, one of the favorites, as they look to three-peat in this tournament. And they're off to a 4-1 beginning in an attempt to improve their round-robin record to a perfect 2-0. And, Joe, you could probably use one word to describe them at home plate. Opportunistic.
Yes, you make a slight mistake, and they'll make you pay for it.
Well, they've taken advantage of a couple errors. Pass ball. Have just 2 hits in the game off Nick Patrick, who delivers to Ben Anoka. Anoka, one of 2 strikeout victims for Patrick so far in the game. And misses inside with the rise. And Anoka draws a quick walk to open the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 18, Eric Ochoa.
Ochoa grounded out to Munoz, his first time up. Three-time member of Team USA at the most recent World Championships. And I would think he has an excellent chance to be at the qualifier
I would imagine.
in the 3rd week of September in Oklahoma City, which yesterday, somewhat controversially, was named as a satellite site for the Olympic women's softball competition. And I must say, I feel for the athletes. I really do.
Yes. Just to not be aware of the Olympic Village, the environment around the village, the camaraderie, being with the Olympic team, the other sports.
Takes a little wind out of their sails, I
Yeah.
would think, in their hopes and dreams of playing. However, the ballpark, which is the home of the College Women's World Series, an event I attended not this May and June, but last May and June, is spectacular with a capital S. So it's in a great place, at least facility-wise, and as Ochoa swings and misses,
Great drop there by Patrick.
it's hard to believe that they just could not find a softball set up somewhere in California that would have worked, whether it had been a conversion of a baseball field. Munoz,
Wow.
sensational.
Watch the replay on this because he goes to his backhand to pick it up.
This is brilliant.
Awesome play there by Alejo Munoz.
Doesn't get any better. Play of the tournament for Alejo Munoz.
Now batting, shortstop number 34.
And the shovel
Yeah.
was excellent, flat out, and not exactly right beside first baseman Susie either, as he flat out robs Ochoa. That was worth waking up for. Beautiful play. Cole Evans, the batter, grounded out to Bradbury at third his first time and fouls that out of play. Cole Evans made his national team debut as a 16-year-old in Saskatoon for New Zealand in 2015. A heartbreaking final for New Zealand. They opened a 5-0 lead against Canada, only to run into the Steve Mullally show. One of the greatest Canadian individual big game performances in sport, period. And I stand by that.
Yes.
On that Sunday afternoon at Bob Van Impe Stadium against Cole Evans and company, Steve Mullally hit 3 home runs and drove in 7 in a 10-5 come-from-behind Canadian win.
Fantastic game. And the highs and lows in that game, too.
Gives you goosebumps. And Cole Evans, it's a day he'll never forget.
Yes.
But this guy was born to be a high-level player. Looks the part, fields the part, hits the part. Just has, Joe, even just to watch him walk up to the batter's box or be at shorts, for me at least, there's a presence about this still very young player.
He made some defensive gems over in Prague in 2019.
Did he ever? And again towards the third baseman, Bradbury, but it is foul. So the Gremlins hoping to go to Surrey and win again. And certainly have the lineup to do it.
Yes. They have a target on their back, though, when you're the winner.
And they have lots of great competition, a lot of it in this event. As if you go back to the preseason rankings, 5 of the top 6 teams in the ISC World Rankings find themselves here this weekend in Simcoe. And STK will be in Surrey, British Columbia. At Bradbury again, takes a look at the runner and throws a bullet to get Evans.
Good defensive play by Bradbury to look that runner back at second base. Took 2 glances, really, and still had plenty of time with that arm.
And Evans runs well.
Yes.
He is a 5-tool guy, absolutely. Blake Hunter grounded out to shortstop Silvis, his first time up. As the Gremlins looking to add to this 3-run advantage in the bottom of the third. Patrick finds the outside corner for a strike. Blake batted .400 at the World Tournament last August with a home run and 2 runs batted in. And as he takes strike 2, also had the biggest hit of the 2023 Hill United Chiefs Challenge, a grand slam homer in the 6th inning to provide the big blow in an 8-4 championship win over the host, Hill United. And won't be surprised if those two teams vie for the title again tomorrow afternoon. But we've got a lot of work to be done prior to then. Blake is from Nanaimo, British Columbia.
Out on the island.
Excellent rise to end the inning. Nick Patrick is more than provided a good outing, but still, he and STK trail by 3.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Pablo Migliavacca continues to work for the Gremlins. Pitched 4 innings last night in the win over Bear Creek. Did not allow a hit in that 4-inning stretch. Has allowed 1 hit today. It was a home run to Stevie Silvas as he gets set to face Australian national team member Jared Bradbury. And he struck out to end the top of the first. Drops down a bunt. Migliavacca played it perfectly. And 1 pitch later, 1 out for STK Fastball. Villalobos. He struck out his first time up as well. 7 strikeouts in the game, I believe, Joe, for Migliavacca so far in the game.
Got a score update from Diamond 2. They're in the bottom of the 3rd. Toronto Batman 2, Bear Creek Express 1. Dustin Veenhoff against Justin Schofield.
That's a very important game in this tournament. Both those teams losing their opening games last night. The Batmen, the reigning Canadian champions, losing 7-4 to this STK Fastball squad last night, while Bear Creek was shut out 5-0 by the New York Gremlins. Top 4 of 8 advanced to tomorrow morning's semifinals. As Migliavacca misses up that time. 2 balls and a strike to the 26-year-old from Mexicali, Mexico. And the drop is excellent. And make it strikeout number 8. As Villalobos goes down swinging. Eli Jules, his second time up. And in this game, so far, TMM. Too much Migliavacca. Really good movement, Joe, too.
Yeah.
That pitch right there was a perfect example. Not only up and down, but
We had talked about early in the game that just his pinpoint location.
he is having an excellent weekend so far. 1, 2, 3, and 9 strikeouts. Migliavacca and the Gremlins headed towards 2-0, but a long way to get there quite yet.
He struck out the side, didn't he?
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and
Bradbury
Country
strikeout.
Club. With our beautiful 27-hole
sure.
golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
A new pitcher, and a good one. His second tour of duty this weekend. The 29-year-old from Calgary is Stephen Normand. Played with the Grand Prairie Pirates, last year's ISC World Tournament. In relief of Nick Patrick, who in 3 innings of work, he gave up 4 runs, but Joe doesn't really tell the story. He only gave up 2 hits.
Just that walk to Tani Mubu really cost him at the end with that followed up by the double by Lucio Redemar.
But 3 errors in behind him.
Yes.
Even on the ball hit to right field that was bobbled, that allowed Mumu to score on a single all the way from first.
Yeah. We talked about the chances that the opportunities that you can't give up to a good hitting team like the Gremlins. They will take that extra base. They'll score that extra run.
Stephen in the mix to potentially play for Canada at the upcoming World Cup qualifier. He'll participate in a very important tournament and a great tournament if you're watching in Saskatoon, just prior to the qualifier at Bob Van Imp and Gordie Howe. What a field has assembled for that international event. Change up to Zenon Winters, but fouls it away down the first base side. Canada has just a few spots open that they have not committed to. And Normand, he opened eyes in Kelowna at the May Days tournament. And this is a young man from Calgary who tore his Achilles 2 years ago.
Ouch.
Came back, had a stellar performance for Grand Prairie at the Canadians last year. In fact, had an amazing 9-inning duel with Justin Schofield as Larson wants it to roll foul. The wish was not granted. Unless you're Zenon Winters.
Yes.
Then it was.
That's a power hit 10 years from now.
And the 40-year-old with a rolling infield single. You won't see many of these. It would just not roll foul, Joe.
I think the lime kept it in place.
Try to blow on it, do whatever you can on the defensive side, but as Normand rears back and delivers a strike to Brian Avery. And Winters is still smiling over at first base. The rise, pounded foul by Avery, who delivered one of those 2 hits, a double, and scored a run in the 2nd inning. And Avery more than capable of getting on a hot streak. In on the hands. Good pitch. As we await a new softball in the hands of Stephen Normand. It's 2-1 at the ISC World Championship last year, 2.40 earned run average. Right back at him. That'll be a base hit. Tried his best and almost made a superb. This is pure and utter survival.
Yeah, self-defense.
Scares me.
I think he took a little bit off that pitch, and it was a changeup, and the spin just caught him by mistake.
Got his glove up on it. And back-to-back base hits to begin the bottom of the 4th for the Gremlins. And here's Mumu, the 20-year-old from New Zealand, who showed us his electric speed. was on the run, looking to steal, hit and run. Tries to bunt this time, but can't get it down. And on a bobble by Villalobos in right, scored all the way on a single by Retamar from first base.
I think he took about 8 steps.
Might start calling him Gordy Greyhound. I don't know how you say Greyhound in that language, but I might need to learn. In fact, I need to learn that language more anyway. Might have to sign up for old Babbel. Well, the Gremlins looking to add to this 3-run advantage and have nobody out and 2 on in the bottom of the 4th. Mumu doesn't square, and Normand delivers a high rise that was swung on and missed.
Nice full cut up there by Mumu, but I think I'd stay up there if I was Norman.
We'll see if he does just that. Little extra look. Gets the sign. And about to deliver to the 20-year-old, and does so outside for a ball. Winters on that rolling stay fair single. And Avery with a single off the glove of Normand, the 2 base runners, is Avery's 2 for 2 today. His first hit was a drive to the left center field wall for a double. In tight in the drop that time, but missed again. If Mumu puts it in play, he's got a chance. That's how fast this young man is. The only thing that would help him is if he hit from the other side of home plate, like Nick White of Hill United does, and you'll see him again as this tournament continues. He hit a blast last night in their win over the Northeast Drillers. Excellent location for Normand on that pitch. And Mumu did absolutely everything he could to fight it off.
Good plate appearance here by Mumu, too. Just fighting off those pitches that are anywhere near the plate now with 2 strikes.
Tane's first start here in Simcoe. Came in as a pinch runner last night. It's just 3 for 22 for New Zealand at the U23 World Cup. On the ground, Munoz to second for 1. Silvis the relay. There are few harder players, I'm going to guess, in this sport to double up than Tane Mumu. So everything defensively was executed very well, but too much speed for number 2 to turn it into a double play.
Good arm there by Bradbury, but unable to catch the speedy Mamu going down that line.
So he's on in a fielder's choice, and Winters able to make his way to third on the ground ball. And now Retamar, who drove in a run, his last time up. There goes Mumu again. The throw, little bobble by Silvis covering. But Winters stays right where he is at third. Some guys get the green light to run. That guy invented a green light. My goodness, is he quick.
And now the Gremlins have 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out. And the top of the order coming up to bat.
And the adjective of the day for them has been opportunistic. Every opportunity they've had today, by and large, they've cashed in on it. And
Redemar had that double in the second inning, drove in 2 runs. Almost in that same position right here.
As they look to break it open in the bottom of the 4th. And Redemar had a notion, but takes a ball. Infield in, as you would guess, in this situation for STK. Munoz has been brilliant at second. What a play he made last inning. As good as it gets in this game. And Redemar has another base hit, and he has 2 more runs batted in. Lucio Redemar, the 21-year-old, cashes one more time, and it's 6-1 for the Gremlins. As make it runs batted in 2 and 3, while 2 runners did score on his first hit, Joe. I don't think he'd get credit for 2 runs batted in because of the bobble.
Because of the error, yeah.
But we'll have to check with the official score to know that exact answer.
I'm giving it to him.
So you're giving him 4 runs batted in.
Yeah.
Well, he's having a day. I know that.
I know he had a green light at third base.
So Lucio Redemar has been a huge reason to why the Gremlins have broken it open. And Remeke. High drive, deep to left with the glasses on, and you could see the reflection as Josh Montana ranged into foul territory.
With 2 out, the batter will be the center fielder, number 89, Ben Anoka.
It's another Black Sox longtime member. Ben Anoka steps in. Struck out and drew a walk so far in the game. And it is not like the Gremlins have hit a lot of balls
Deep or hard?
deep or hard in the game, but mentioned the opportunistic nature. They have taken advantage of everything in this game and had a huge day from Lucio Redemar, who's about to become a fixture, I would think, of anything Argentina moving forward. A long career in front of that 21-year-old as Anoka draws his second walk.
Baseman number 18, Eric Ochoa.
Well, Ochoa was flat out robbed by a scintillating play, courtesy of Alejo Munoz, his last time up. Diving at second, a shovel. It was spectacular. He's 0 for 2, and he's grounded out twice to Munoz. The Gremlins, and on very warm, hot days, any innings you could potentially save yourself, and they have lots of work left today, could be helpful. Which means in a 7-run rule scenario,
Nice stroke here.
they wouldn't mind Ochoa finding a gap somewhere. They lead by 5. As Normand misses just outside.
I noticed how our loyal fan base have planted their chairs out in under the trees in the outfield across the whole outfield scope now.
I call that one thing. Smart.
Yes. Going to be a long day if you're here at the day. If you're here for the day.
Ochoa didn't love it. Normand and Larson did. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Ochoa still mustn't have his luggage back because he usually wears
8.
Now he wore 42 last night, 18 today. Maybe we're playing bingo here.
Yeah, under the I, or in his case, under the E. And an E that does find the gap. It'll be a ground rule double past Keegan Pittendray and made its way over the temporary fence that goes about 250 right around the horn. So runners at second and third, and Ochoa has added to the advantage. It's 7-1. And not even Alejo Munoz could prevent that one.
No.
So an RBI double that scores a run, and 2 more in scoring position for Cole Evans.
Cole Evans looking for his first hit of the game. Grounded out twice to the third baseman, Bradbury.
Two out. And a strike, courtesy of Normand, who replaced Nick Patrick to begin this 4th inning.
Good movement on that pitch there by Norman. A little bit of a high drop.
And he wants Larson to run over the signs, which is always more critical with someone standing from the opposing team at second base, peeking in. You knew that wasn't going to end any other way as Munoz looks after the short hop. More Gremlins, just not quite as many as they'd hoped for, but they lead by 6.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
A 7-1 advantage for the 2-time reigning Hill United Chiefs Challenge champion New York Gremlins, who like Lions Park, as do we. Somebody in the ballpark is a fan of Michigan State. I saw a big tent on our last camera shot. This is one of 4 games we will bring you on what I like to call the home of softball streaming, Softball Premier TV. What a difference Luciano and Carl and that incredible couple have made in helping this sport grow. It cannot be undervalued for a second.
No, done an exceptional job.
We are so lucky to have them.
And the one-man show behind that, switching and scorekeeping and flipping cameras
And his poor wife in the middle of the heat all the time.
he's got to be an electrical engineer back there, because you see all these plugs and wires.
Oh.
And
Remember working with him last year for the first time and just sat in amazement of, I've been in the media business my whole life. And it is some show that goes on to my left.
almost weekly, too, in the summer.
Nice air mile plan. Gotta have a few hotel points, I'm hoping.
I would imagine.
In the family. That's awesome. And just fabulous humans on top of it. Now, if I could only learn more of their language, then it would be even better. And that's on me as time goes on. 7-1 the advantage. Migliavaca, who's had an excellent day of work again in the circle. How about that change? You got to give Tyson Susie all the credit in the world to hang in and get a bat on that pitch. Wow.
Held back as long as he could.
I wanted to reach out and grab it from here. Looked like it just sat in the middle of air and didn't move. And he can get it done with a glove, too. Bounded out of the circle and made a good play. Good at bat for Susie, but is retired. And a pinch hitter for STK here in Tristan Hofer, who's from Irma. His last ISC World Tournament performance came in 2019. Remeke delivers. 1, 2, 3. And the Gremlins a run away from ending it early if they can cash in the fifth.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.
Do you think I can get a sponsorship or a subscription to Softball Premier TV?
Possibly.
Possibly?
Possibly.
I have a chance?
You have a connection.
I have a connection?
Yeah.
Okay. If you are watching, I fully endorse the subscription. You will not be disappointed. Great tournaments from all over the Americas provided by Softball Premier TV. Blake Hunter to lead it off as Steven Normand works his second inning for STK Fastball. And Hunter takes strike one. He's 0 for 2 so far in the game. Silvis in plenty of time for out number 1. And after a first inning bobble, has looked very comfortable. That ball was well hit. And on this surface, especially with the heat, it gets to you in a hurry.
He's staying a lot lower on that ball too now.
I think it's hard to stay down here because of the hops.
Yeah.
If you've ever played the middle infield, you know, staying down, coming up with your hands, so critical, but it's different based on the surface. When it's not as hot or the surface isn't quite as hard, ball doesn't get to you quite as quickly, and you just never exactly know how the ball might react in this heat. There is talk of rain. He did it again. The wizard that is Leo Munoz.
Another great play by
Sensational second base work by the 25-year-old from Argentina.
number 33, Brian Avery.
And that one wasn't quite as good as the Ochoa play,
Yes.
which is hard to believe, but true. 2 web gems. I love watching great defense.
Yes.
It is my favorite part
Yeah.
of the sport. It is. Some people love the power and all of it. I guess because I grew up playing the middle infield, that would be part of it. But whether I'm a broadcaster, a fan, play, I love great defense. And Alejo Munoz has supplied it in spades. We'll go to the 6th in a 7-1 Gremlins advantage.
Pinch hitter.
Ethan Lands will pinch hit for STK Chase Fastball out of British Columbia. He is from British Columbia. 24 degrees. It feels a lot warmer
Yes.
than 24 due to the humidity. And Ethan Lands, if Kelowna Maydays and that tournament, Rich Haldane does such an amazing job with it. I think there's a chance that tournament could find its way onto Softball Premier TV in 2025. But during that event, I was impressed with how Ethan Lands swung the bat. see how he fares against a guy
Yeah.
who's in some groove in Pablo Migliavacca, who has been outstanding in his first 5 innings of work.
10 strikeouts, just giving up the 1 hit, and no blemishes on the score sheet. No walks.
And the 1 hit was a solo home run to Stevie Silvas. There were not a lot of bad at-bats for Ethan Lands at the Kelowna Maydays tournament.
I do have a score from Diamond 2 from the bottom of the 4th. It was a 2 RBI single by Jeff Lyons. The Bear Creek Express now leading over the Toronto Batman by a 3-2 score.
It's a great game over there. I would call that a rare miscue and not really a miscue. You don't get hurt with that pitch. Once again, 3-2 on Diamond 2 in favor of Bear Creek as they look to even their record. The Batmen advanced to the final of last weekend's ISC tournament,
Beating Bear Creek.
beating Bear Creek before losing the final to Marco Diaz and another vaunted group in Hill United. And Lands with a quality at-bat. Here we go again, Joe. This is exactly what I witnessed.
Good fight up there. You'd like to see those type of battles still, even in a 7-1 score.
No batting gloves. But Migliavacca, as he's done, great drop, and he gives the thumbs up sign to the catcher, Blake Hunter. Unhittable pitch. Forget it. Fell right off the table. So Lands pinch hitting for Keegan Pittendray becomes strikeout number 11 of the game for Migliavacca as he deals with the top of the order. And catcher Brett Larson. Larson hit the ball right back at Migliavacca, his last at-bat. It made its way in between his legs, and by the time he could kind of figure out where it was, Larson was able to beat it out. Larson also flew out to Redemar in left to open the game, so he's had a couple of good at-bats as the product of Irma, Alberta, Brett Larson. Another one of those really good fastball towns in our country, the Irma Tigers.
Yes.
Oh, Migliavacca and his teammates wanted that. Might have had a point.
Yes, well, just the change of speeds by Migliavacca today and that great sequencing.
Gets the call in the outside corner that time. And back-to-back strikeouts to start the top of the 6th as he's reached a dozen in the strikeout department. Well, the star of the day defensively is at home plate. His name is Aleo Munoz. He's 0 for 2 at the plate. Always a little interested, and it's not completely uncommon, Joe. Look at the separation in the hands. And this one popped in the air, and no trouble for Ben Anoka in center. Pablo is on a roll, and so are the Gremlins, with another chance to end it earlier. Good place for the family, especially you got a nice cold bucket in left.
inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Saturday in Simcoe, and day number 2 of the Hill United Chiefs Challenge. And so far, the 2-time defending tournament champions have looked the part. Joe Todd?
Yes. Excellent ball game. Great pitching, power hitting, great defense.
Yeah, we've had a little of everything, and a very opportunistic Gremlins team who has taken advantage of almost every opportunity they've had in the game. It's been, by my count, 3 errors made by STK, which has also contributed. Mumu, and he's on his way to second. He is fast with a capital F. Tane Mumu.
Did not even hesitate it. Took a step past first base and gone.
Off the glove of Bradbury at third, and you're right. A double for Mumu. I wasn't sure after watching Nick White that someone could be. I'd like to see those guys have a race on the base pass.
On the base pass.
And this guy might win. He is lightning. So a double for Mumu. And the hitting star is at home plate. Redemar, by Joe Todd's count, has 4 runs batted in and a couple of hits. And reached and scored on an error his first time up. And there's an excellent offering in the inside part of the plate from Stephen Normand.
Good pitch there by Normand, trying to tie up the hands of Redemar.
The Gremlins with a run will end the game in the 7-run rule after 5. Excellent rise and the tongue out from Redemar, which I think would mean that one's on me.
Yeah, I'm better than that.
You got me. Can you get me again? Lucio Redemar. Part of a heavy Argentine contingent.
Nice little breeze coming through now.
It's very comfortable, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
Lots of shade covering over our location. Redemar looks to end the game with a base hit. As Normand, the full count, misses outside. So first and second now for the always dangerous Jerome Remeke. The 30-year-old from Wellington, New Zealand, 7-time All-World member of the ISC. 2015, 2019, 2022 World Championship member for his country. Check swing, back to the screen.
That walk to Redemar is the 4th walk issued by the STK pitching staff today.
Bear Creek in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 run scored on 2 hits.
Remeke reached on an error and scored. He's officially 0 for 3 in the game. And Normand with good location on that offering. Action continues throughout the day. Last games are slated for 7:30 and probably will be later than that. And a strikeout for Normand on a quality rise.
Second strikeout for Normand.
Number 89, Ben Anoka.
Ben Anoka has walked twice in the game and struck out versus Nick Patrick, who is the starter for STK. And the only pitcher we have not seen from STK is another player from Argentina. He's one of the up-and-coming pitchers in this sport in Juan Pepe. And I would suggest he'd be in the top 5 here when it comes to velocity.
I want to see him. Hopefully we get that chance.
Again, I was lucky enough to do that in Kelowna.
We might have a chance. We're seeing him again at 3 o'clock. The Hill United Chiefs are taking the STK team on.
You and Mr. Setford will have that game right here on Softball Premier TV. And my guess is that will be STK's starting pitcher against 2-0 Hill United, who won today's first game convincingly after a convincing win last night. So Hill United closing in on a semifinal berth, and I would think would clinch one if they can get to 3-0 in our next game on this diamond. Or not the next game, but the game after the next game. And Normand walks another. Bases loaded.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 18,
Eric Ochoa, who has a double and robbed on one other occasion by Alejo Munoz. Infield in, trying to cut off the game-ending run, which is now 60 feet from home plate. And the fastest guy maybe on the planet in the sport that far away in Tane Mumu. I love to see the injection of younger players who bring that dimension, Joe. It's not always a big dimension in this sport at this level.
Yeah, it's great to see.
I love it. And Ochoa tried to hit that.
Come out of his shoes in that one.
Tried to hit it to Lake Simcoe and just missed it. The 31-year-old American. I find he doesn't get cheated very often.
No. 2 strikes now he's got to protect.
Did well to stay off that pitch. That is such a hard pitch to lay off of because it starts in the zone and you find yourself, especially in a scenario where you want to protect. That's a good piece of hitting. On the ground, and that will end it. Ochoa's second hit, an RBI single, and the New York Gremlins are 2-0 with an 8-1 6-inning triumph over STK Fastball based out of Chase, British Columbia. Joe, you mentioned it. A little of everything. 12 strikeout performance and just one hit from Pablo Migliavaca, and a Gremlins team that is hard enough to deal with when you don't give them extra outs.
Yeah, you just cannot give them the extra out. They take advantage of that opportunity every time.
For Joe Todd, Luciano, Carl, and our entire crew at Softball Premier TV, so long for now from Simcoe.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now, softballpremiertv.com.